I am back at it. Um, and I'm going to go ahead and close my window up. Yes, I'm closing my window. All right, and I shall return while I prep for altering this coat. Oh, that minute come from. I will be right back. Let's see, why am I leaving? For one, so I can grab this coat. Okay, let's see what else. Hmm. I'm coming back. I know y'all don't see me, but that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to see me. Mm, all right, let's get back to it. All right. All right. So I am going to be altering this coat. I think I may change my. I have to knock stuff down. I think I'm going to change this so y'all can see me a little bit better. Hello there. How art thou? Just waiting on others to come in. I should have cleared this off a little bit more, but that's pretty much how I work with a lot of stuff on my table. How art thou? Everybody that's coming in. My name is Alethea, and I'm the creative founder of So Much Talent. Hey, Donna, how art thou? I will be altering a wool coat. I don't know if you saw the picture in the thumbnail, um, but this wool coat needs to be taken in. It's big for my client. The sleeves have to be taken in, and the back seams have to be taken in. The princess seams in the back, well, just here at the top, just above the belt loop there. But this whole back seam, and I got to figure out the best way to do that because there is a kick pleat in the back. J Rock, what's up? And I also have to hem it. So that's what I'll be doing. What's up, J Rock? What up? What up? Miguel, how art thou? All right, so I got the tripod out, so because it spans a little bit different than the tabletop camera holder, so phone holder. So I'll be working with it. Are you sewing tonight? Well, who is this talking about the best dress at church? And I don't know about that now. You must be talking about my mama. Who this be talking about the best dress at church? J Rock. That doesn't look like a t-shirt. Oh, well, listen, stay tuned because look, the week is not over for zippers, okay? The week is not over. All right, so I did this in my first video, but I'm gonna say this in this video, okay? So this is how I am today, okay? I woke up like this and I stayed like this. I'm comfortable, I'm at home, and I'm enjoying life today because we are snow. Well, we ain't snowed in, but we in because of inclement weather. There is snow, but it ain't that bad. You know, it's not like out in, up north. But we's good out here. We's good. All right. Hey Nicole, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Nicole. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Nicole. Happy birthday to you. How old are you? You got to tell me. Now we sing it differently in our church. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday, Nicole. Don't say I never did nothing for you. All right. I am already married. Mhm. I'm already married. I'm ancient. I'm old enough probably to be your mama. Might be old enough to be your grandmama. I don't know. All right. So y'all stop playing. All right. So y'all hang out there with me. And I don't know. I can't promise you I'm going to be here for a minute. Um, because I am altering this coat. I do take my time. Now, what I did was my machine is set up with threads. I do have that. Oop, I didn't put my bobbin in. So I'll get my bobbin in there and I'll change my sewing machine feet. All right. So I hope you would hang in there with me. So it looks like I like to go ahead and do my measurements to see what I'm going to be altering, how much. And I try to do that, make sure both sides are the same because, you know, everybody's not symmetrical. Everybody's different. Like one arm might be longer than the other. One side of our bodies is different. I don't know if y'all know that. It's not such an obvious difference, but one eye is bigger than the other one. Um, yeah, one hand is bigger than the other one, foot is bigger than the other one. All just our bodies are different. So if you don't believe me, just check it. Check it one day and try to see. All right. Um, so I'm measuring about an inch and 5/8, almost an inch and 3/4 on this one. I'm gonna say about an inch and 5/8 on that. Let's see how much this measures. I'm gonna do one other spot. Yeah, that's truly about uh, that was an inch. Yeah, it's about an inch and 3/4 that I'm measuring on the sleeve. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark it, and I may have to add some more facing to the inside for stability and support. All right, I'm gonna measure that out. Anybody sewing today? Or if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for joining in. My name is Alicia. I'm from the peach state of Georgia, where the peaches are real sweet. I like to sew. This is my business. I sew. I'm custom dressmaker, alteration specialist, and I do create and design clothing for women and young girls. I specialize in bridal wear, formal wear, and I've been doing this for a considerable amount of time. I'm from here. Like you don't know where I'm from, do you? I am from Augusta, Georgia, born and raised. Where are you from, Nicole? You saw more Ankara strips for some quips, some lap quips. Listen, I can't wait to get to my back to my Ankara, but I can use it on my bed right now. Did I show you what I put together so far? Like all the strips are put together. I just gotta split it in half and add the back into it and bind it, and it's done. That's literally it. I'm gonna back it with maybe. Hang on one second. Uh, where's my microphone? Okay, sorry about that. Hey Michelle, how art thou? Yes, you love it. Okay, I think I'm gonna back it with denim because I know you all were saying if I back it with batting and denim, I think you said it was gonna be too heavy. So I think I'm just gonna add denim to it. I think I'm not sure yet. I might just do another, just a big piece of uncarved, maybe a solid piece. So I'm not sure. What's your recommendation? Because it's gonna be king size. Hmm. Okay. Tell him it might be a while. Oh, ask him what he need. Sorry, y'all. Talking to my boys. My son is translating for my oldest son. All right, see, I got my trusty dusty razor, y'all. Most people like to use the seam ripper. I keep my seam ripper handy too, but I love using. I work faster with the razor blade. Lighter weight cotton, breathable. That Ankara top has some weight to it. Okay, I think that's what y'all were telling me, not to use denim. That might be what y'all were telling me. Okay, but if I do, I need to. I'm still gonna need to use batting in between it if I use the lighter weight cotton, because that's what I'm trying to avoid. Trying to avoid adding anything in between it. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. I was actually talking to my son on the phone on another phone, um, trying to get my chili recipe. So him and his wife trying to cook their homemade chili. Um, so our kids have to call mom. Look, I'm glad they even calling me about a recipe. Let's see. I think quilter's cotton or medium weight cotton, definitely lighter than denim. Okay, so probably like that. What do you call that? Robert Kaufman cotton. I know it's expensive, but is that a decent enough weight to make it weightier? So you can get the recipe too. Sure, get you some ground beef and some turkey. Now, well, turkey. You can do turkey or ground beef. I'm gonna give it to you right now. Take a note. So on this channel, you get more than just sewing. So yeah, I use ground beef in mine, or ground chili. I add some sausage in there, Italian sausage. Oh, Destin, text him and tell him it's a Italian sausage. Yeah, sorry, mean to yell. And I put my, all my seasons in there. My tomato sauce, tomato paste, diced tomatoes, kidney beans. Um, yeah, did I miss something? My chili powder. Yeah, season it with my garlic and stuff, and then I put me a little cheese in there, to get it all cheesy and everything. Of course, you gotta have your sour cream to make it right. Can't forget your cornbread. Gotta have you some kind of cornbread or some corn muffins, cause chili ain't right without the bread. Okay, yeah, like the coffin weight, not the price. You like the coffin weight, yeah. So I may do that if I have to. I could use a like a old sheet or something to sandwich in between to give it some more weight. But yeah, I didn't want it too heavy. That's why I was thinking denim might be. So denim wouldn't be the same equivalent as batting, or you think about it's too heavy. Well, batting wouldn't be heavy. I'm just asking questions because I don't know. Me don't know. Now I will say I would love to invite anybody who wants. Well, not anybody, but those of in my So Much Talent family, my friends. If y'all would like to come in and join me live, I will be happy to send you a link so you can come on in live and sew with me. That would be nice. I would love to have some company. So if you like to come live, I'll send you the link. Y'all never mind my fingers because I try to do my own nails and everything. The first time I did them, they came out really good. They looked like had come from a nail salon. But I don't know what's been happening the last couple of times. Like soon as I do them, they just malfunction. I don't know what's happening. So this coat is blind stitched on. Like, well, I don't know if they blind stitch. Could have did it by hand, but it's that catch stitching. Almost looks like a serger stitch, but I'm sure that's a blind stitch. Uh, yeah, they used a blind stitch machine to do it. So what I'm doing here, I measured here on the outside the length of how much I need to take in. Now, as you go up, as you hem up, the coat gets wider. Of course, you know that this one doesn't change much. So yeah, this one didn't change much, so that's good. That's a blessing. So I really don't have to taper the coat in. I think I am gonna taper it in because see how much I have to take in on the sleeve here. So I got to take in the sleeve. Looks like about 3/4 of an inch, not quite a whole inch. It don't look like it. Yeah, about 3/4 of an inch. I have to take in the sleeve. So I will taper it in here because it's big on her. It's really big. So I measured from the hem. I measured 3/4, inch and 3/4. Now I'm going to measure from the edge, not the folded edge. I'm going to measure from the edge the same amount. And the reason why I'm not measuring from the hem is because I'm going to sew this. There's a little bit of leeway on the hem, a little bit of give on the hem, on the lining. You don't want that lining exactly hem the same amount. So I'm going to measure 1.25 inches from the raw edge, and then it's going to give maybe like about a 1/2 inch um, give in there. Once I finish, you'll see what I'm talking about. Your cotton flannel would be nice. Batting is lighter than denim for sure. Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? Flannel. Oh, now I didn't think about flannel. I think I like that even better because it'd be nice and cozy on the one side. I think flannel might be the way to go. All right, so let me go ahead and mark this. I'm gonna go ahead and press this flat open. But when I sew, there's a looks like a 1/4 inch seam allowance there, so that's what I'm gonna use. A 1/4 inch seam allowance. Let me go ahead and pay for that. And all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. So this looks like it might be about 5/8 of an inch. No, it's still, yeah, that's about 5/8 of an inch. Starting from up under the arm, and then it goes into about 3/4 of an inch um, at the bottom. So I am also probably going to have to add a little bit more interfacing in there because you can see on the inside right here it has the interfacing just for stabilizing it. And so I've got to hem it up about 1.25 inches. So once I press the hem in place, I'm going to add a little bit more interfacing here to stabilize this a little bit more. Okay. So let me go ahead and press this. I'm gonna press this open and then I'm gonna mark where it needs to be cut off. I'm gonna cut off 1.75 inches of a hem, but I'm cutting off from this edge right here. Okay. And then I'm just gonna turn this under 3/4 of an inch and it's hemmed about 1.5 inches. No, actually about an inch and a half. It's hemmed about 1.5 inches. So once I press this, I'm gonna cut off 1.5 inches, and then I'm gonna fuse the new hem, and then I'm gonna cut this off 1.75 inches. All right, so between the 1.75 inches and 1.5 inches, there's what, 3/8 of an inch. That's it's gonna give a little bit of room, seems like. All right, so let me go do that, and I shall return. I'll be right here. Y'all don't go nowhere now. You hear? It won't take long to hem this like I need to. All right, get the other one here. Well, y'all, I did not get flagged. I told you DJ Dare was over there playing his music loud enough you can hear it on my last video. So I did not get flagged for it. So thank God for that. So DJ Devin is back at it again. So hopefully it'll stay that way. I won't get flagged for the music. I have to give it a good press, and I don't want to pull or stretch the wool because wool will stretch. All right, let's see. I'm almost done. That's a good press. I have that crease in place. All right, so let me go grab a little bit of fusible interfacing so I can fuse that in place. Need to move this box out of the way. There we go. Let's see, do I have some white? Okay, I do have some. Okay, so this is I think this is the flex or whatnot, but this is will stabilize. It's good for in shirts and stuff like that because it looks like a cotton shirt on one side, and it has the fusible on this side, but it's perfect for fusing and coats and stuff like this. It gives just enough stability and enough firmness without destroying the actual weight of the garment. All right, so I'm going to measure. I'm going to measure the width of the sleeve. How much of the strips? Hey, Lady Mo, hiya, hiya. All right, so I need to give that a good press again, a little bit better than what I did, so that I'll be able to. Yeah, I need to be able to define that. All right, so the strip needs to be about 14 inches. Yeah, about 14 inches long. And then, of course, it needs to be, let's see, I'm going to cut the exact hem amount off. So this is about 1 3/4 inches. And this one is about 1.5 inches. So I'm going to leave it like that, just 1/4 inch difference. So I'm going to cut a strip. Let me put this here for now. Yeah, my nails are crazy. Oops, I didn't want to flash y'all. All right, so sorry, my nails along with this wool. Sometimes with certain fabrics, my nails grab the fabric. I don't know what it is, especially if they're not filed really good. All right, I'm just feeling it's like knits and things like that. Like your nails, if they're not filed good, or if there's anything going on with your nails, it will pull on the fabric. So I just want to make sure that's good. All right, that's better. I do need to put a little bit of moisturizer on my hand. Anyway, let's go ahead and cut these strips out. I said 14 inches. Mm, if it's a little bit more, that's okay, because I'm going to overlap it a little bit anyway. And I'm gonna do about an inch and a half or an inch and a quarter. It don't matter. Definitely don't want to do 2 inches. If it ends up being a little bit more, that's okay because it's gonna be lined. Okay. Cut this strip. Cutting two because it got two arms, right? Okay. Move that out the way. Cut this in half. Sometimes I'm sure J Rock, Miss Miriam, I'm sure you experience this when you're working with your hands quilting all the time. You have to keep your hands moistened because certain fabrics dry your hands out. So let me go get my moisturizer. Yeah, I'm already picking out my fabric, or not my fabric, but I see another project that I want to do for my set-in sleeves. I'm hoping I'll be able to get two garments out. Um, let's see, what did I do with my bag? Oh, here it is. Yeah, check out my video, my last video from my early video from earlier today. I did demonstrated two zipper techniques, the lap zipper and the invisible zipper. So if you're interested in those, check that video out. Okay, so what I'm doing now, you can't see me here on the side because I'm working off of my industrial iron, my gravity feed, so it's hanging. So I can't bring it over to you. And I'll have my little tabletop iron set up. So I'm just going to, and it works better with me using this iron to iron on the interfacing than any other iron. So sorry I'm not in view. I'm going to go ahead and fuse this in. Okay. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to I'm gonna go ahead and open one side up. The side that I have to, I'm gonna open it up so I can fuse it easy. Because it's kind of hard to fuse it with it sewn up like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. Because I've got to sew that side up anyway, right? Got to sew it up a little bit deeper than what it is. So it'll make it easier to press this in. All right. And I'm not doing a deep, like a 10-second pressing. I'm just ironing it on because this is just enough to stabilize it on the inside. So once it's in there, it's going to stay in place. So you don't have to worry about spending a whole lot of time fusing it like that. Go back over the outside. All right. I got one sleeve down. I got to do it. Oh. So bear with me. It won't take me long. Then once I get everything else marked, I'm going to turn it inside out so I can get to the seams on the inside and make it easier. Let me know if you've ever altered a coat or anything, or if you even do alterations. Let me know if you like it. I will tell you, I did not like alterations at all. I hated alterations. But if many of you have heard me tell the story, alterations has been my teacher. It's the thing that taught me how to excel in what I love doing. Because some things you don't know until you know, right? So in order for me to see how to put something together, in order to alter something, I had to take it apart. And while I took it apart, I could literally see on the inside how things were put together. So I was able to learn how to put things together better, like they were before or better, because I could see how it was done on the inside. And so it really was a blessing to be able to do alterations because it taught me some things that I didn't know. I learned about the different types of interfacing, like these coats and stuff, learned what I needed to use. All interfacings are not equal. All right. All right. I am back. So this is what I mean by I had to, where's the sleeve? Okay. So this is what I mean. Excuse me. By I opened up the sleeve so I can get that interfacing in there. Okay. So I got that interfacing right at the part where I need to fold it at. You can see I end up overlapping it a little bit. So I didn't need that part. So now I'm just going to go in. Now it was actually uh, overlapped 1.25 inches. So I don't want to take away from how it originally was because of the space of the hint of the interfacing. I want to keep everything just like it was. So instead of me doing the 2 inches or 1.25 inches, like I said for the hem, I'm gonna go ahead and do. Um, I think the original. Let's see, I have it right here. The original is 1.5 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 1.5 inches instead of 1 3/4 inches. I don't know if you can see. Go ahead and mark in 1.5 inches from the hem line, and I'm gonna cut it off there. I'm gonna cut off 1.25 inches from the lining. Now I'm gonna cut 1.25 inches from the top of the line on here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, cut that excess off. Cut that off here. Okay. Now I opened up the side that I know I have to take in a little bit more. Okay, so that's in there. Let me do the other side, get this one out the way so I won't end up cutting the same side again. That would be terrible. And then I'll go back in and cut the lining. Has anybody done alterations or like to do alterations? If you like alterations, what do you like about it and what do you alter? I'm just interested in knowing. I'm not doing an analytical study or anything like that. Just curious. Some people don't even like altering their own clothes, which I don't blame them. It's not fun altering. What I like about it the most, I like seeing the finished result, and I like seeing people happy with the results. Like when their clothes fit them to like the way they should, I like seeing their faces. All right, so Instead of cutting off, instead of marking, let's see how much did I actually cut off. So it ended up being. So that actually ended up being inch and 3/4. All right, so it's going to end up being the same like it was. The lining is already cut about an inch. I mean about a half an inch short or longer than the lining. So that way, when the lining is on the garment on the hem, there's going to be like a little extra hangover in there. I know that don't quite make sense right now, but yeah. So I'll tell you about that when I get to it. So I am actually about to mess up. All right, so I'm going to cut off inch and 3/4 off the top edge of the lining. So when you are cutting off your, now what I could have done is when I got ready to cut this part off, I could have just laid both edges together like this and cut them off at the same time, but I didn't. It's one way to do it. But what I don't recommend is like if you press your hem in place before you separate the lining, don't cut off right there at that area because, like I say, the lining is already cut about a half an inch longer than the outer fabric, so it's going to automatically be a little bit extra just for give and for ease. I know I'm sounding repetitive, but it's important to be careful about that part. You don't want that. You don't restrict your movement. And what happens if you cut the lining too short? When you get ready to move your arm, even though everything looks nice and neat and everything, what's going to happen? It's going to pull on your sleeve, and it's not going to lay right. All right. So I am going to go ahead and now what I'm going to do here, because I can't see on the inside once I flip this over, it's going to be hard for me to see how much I pinned and measured on here. So I'm going to go ahead everywhere else. I'm going to press over these pins. And what's going to happen is these pins are going to make an impression on the fabric and it's going to show through on the other side. So I'll be able to see like the impressions of the pins. So that'll let me know how much I need to take up. Okay, so I'll be right back. I did go ahead and measure the sleeve that I took apart. So I think it was about 3/4 of an inch, half an inch under the arm, and 3/4 of an inch towards the hem that I need to take up on that. So I already took the pins out. So take the back seam. You can do this on any garment that you have to take in. It makes it so much easier because you can't always see the underside. I could go in and because I don't plan on taking like the whole bottom of this apart to get in it. I just opened up a little section that I'm going to pull this coat through, and it makes it hard to mark the areas while the pins are still in place. So This is one way to do it. All right, got one more side to do. All right, one more spot and then I'll be done with this. I may have to take the belt loop undone in this one area. I tried to pin it where I don't have to take the belt loops undone or loose. All right, there we go. All right, now y'all might be speaking and my messages might be hung up again, cause if y'all were saying something, y'all, my apologies. Okay, so let's see. Hang on. Okay, there we go. All right. I don't see any comments, so I hope it's still not hung up. All right, so this is where I pressed everything at. You can see all the pins here. So I'm gonna take the pins out so you can see what it did. Okay, so can you see the impressions right there, the pin heads and stuff? So it's gonna translate on the other side when I flip it over. Okay, I see, Mo. Thank you for that. Sometimes I don't know if this thing is glitching or not. All right. So, and I want y'all to think I'm ignoring you. All right. So even on that, you can see the impressions um, for both sides. Right. So I'll be able to go in and see that. All right. See that? So I made my own little stitching line. So this way you can't miss it. You can't go wrong when you're altering it because you know exactly how you pinned it on the person. Let me get this belt out of the way. You know exactly how you pinned it on the person and how it's supposed to fit. So if you press those pin marks in place, then you sew right on top of those pin marks and you know you didn't miss it. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do here is because I have to take up this seam of the arm. I have to take the back princess seam of the arm and the underarm. Well, it's not really the underarm seam because this is the underarm. When you do a two-part sleeve, there is no underarm seam. It's like these two seams go over there. But I am going to open this arm up past both of those seams so that I can take the arms up. Um, yeah. I want to go. Um, oh, there it is. I left my razor blade over there. So I'm just going to break that seam. Get it in there. See, jackets and stuff are a little bit more complicated. Uh, There's the little tabs in there. That tab they put in here to make sure that the jacket stays in place. So they'll put this little piece in here on the seam or underarm seam of the sleeve and attach it to the underarm seam of the jacket. That way the jacket stays in place and not move when you're flipping it inside and out, or even when you're putting the jacket on. You know how when sometimes when you slide your arm in a jacket and you got to pull everything in place and shift it around because it's moving, it's not stationary. So this makes it stationary. So when you slide that jacket on or that coat on, your arm slides right in and it fits as one. Um, and then right here, um, they created a little stabilizer around the sleeve. Not a sleeve cap, but this is actually yeah, it is. It's a sleeve cap. So this is part of that. Let me open this up so you can see the parts of this jacket. So right in here, it's like a little sleeve head that they made out of the just a cotton fabric. Looks like nothing special, but it acts as a stabilizer because this piece of wool, it looks like wool, but it stretches, and you don't want it to stretch out of shape. We stabilize or do a stay stitch, but on top of that stay stitch, this is a binding fabric. So they bind it so that the sleeve won't stretch out of shape and grow. So there's usually a sleeve head. The sleeve head is usually made out of this batting type fabric, and they use a makeshift interface batting to make the shoulder pad, which is neat where they did this. So this is how you learn, and this is how I take mental note of how things are done. So if I make a jacket again, they literally have taken some batting and cut it in the shape of a. Um, Let me see if I can take this. I really don't want to take it undone, but let's see if I can do it like this. So what they did was took a piece of batting and cut it in the shape of a shoulder pad, and they sandwiched in between it several other layers of batting. Can you see that? They did the same thing, but they graded it. So they cut a big one, then they cut a smaller one, then they cut another smaller one. There's one, two other pieces under there, and they're folded like a taco. And so that makes it thick like a shoulder pad. That's interesting. So I'm taking mental note. So if I don't have a shoulder pad and I need to use it, this is not going to stretch out of shape, but I can use this and it stays soft, but yet it gives what I need. It gives the lift and everything what I need. So mental note to that. And you can see where they fused everything in place for structure, like fused more fusible interfacing for structure in the jacket. And then there's another interfacing along the edging again for like it looks like maybe we used to use like a twill tape to stabilize it, but there's another strip of interfacing on top that stabilizes it, the seam on that side. So see, it's not going anywhere. Now this part right here, that has a little bit more stretch. I'm not pulling it too hard, but there's a little bit more stretch and give right there. All right. So I've opened that up. That's out. I'm going to flip this inside out like this because I'm going to get to work on this sleeve. Once I do the sleeve, then I'll flip the whole jacket inside out and work on it. All right. So to show you how that pressing translated onto the inside, let me lift this up a little bit because I'm going to have to. Did I go all the way up? I went all the way up on that one. Okay, so I don't have to go all the way up on this one. But can you see how on the inside you can see the same pressing marks? Okay, so there's a pinhead mark there, there's pinhead mark there, and then it tapers off. So you can see it a little bit better on this side. So that way I know I need to sew exactly down that line and taper back in. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. It looks like it stops off maybe about here. Okay. All right. So got it marked, got it pressed. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew this one sleeve up. Oh, you know what? It looks like my thread has run out. Oh, I didn't put it in yet, did I? Nope, I didn't put it in. Oh, you know what? I smell food. I'm thinking about my son and the chili, but I put on some ribs a little bit early. I've got them slow cooking. Uh, so I'll season those. I've got some barbecue sauce, and we'll do a salad with it. So I put that on. I slow cook them. They'll be tender. They'll fall off the bone. Be ready to go. I know I kept smelling food, and I forgot just that quick that I put them on. My son had me thinking about his chili. All right, so I gotta grab my regular foot. Okay, so when I sew, there's a foot that has a guard on it, like that. I used to use that all the time before I realized that there was a regular foot without the guard on it that I could sew, uh, that I could use. Where is it? Where's my foot? Okay, that's that. I think that's it. I thought both feet were the same. Maybe that is it. I just don't. Okay, that was it. All right. I guess I just didn't realize that one foot was shorter than the other. One toe was shorter than the other. All right. Let's get that on. All right. All right. So I'm using a 3.0 stitch. Okay. I'm gonna start from the top. Actually, y'all, let me. This is in my way right here. I'll go ahead and remove that, and then I'll stitch it back down. And it's not this little stabilizer. It's not sewn directly in the seam. It's sewn above the seam. I'm just moving it enough out of the seam so I can flip that seam allowance back. I still have to go in there, open that seam up, and I knew I saw something sounded funny, so I'm not sure why it's stitching like that towards the end. The tension. Oh, hmm. I'm not sure why that did that towards the end. If you can see that, start skipping right there. So let me go ahead and undo that. See what the problem is. Okay. All right, let me try this one more time. I'm gonna check it in just a minute. Now, this is a Guterman thread, so it should be a good thread. Something still not. What is it? Oh, that might be from before. Does it skip? Let me look in here, see. That might have been from before. Okay, that was from before. All right, so I don't know what made it skip like that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, go in and open up that seam while I have it open. I'll have to press it flat. Okay, then go all the way up. All right, so that's opened up. All right, now I'm gonna go back and sew this piece back on here like it was. 'Cause yeah, I hate strings. If I could sew without a string, then that would be some sewing for you right there. Stitchless sewing, or threadless stitches. Hmm, that's called gluing, right? That's what that's called. That's called gluing it together. Uh, all right. So that's the one sleeve. I gotta do the same thing with the sleeve. So I need to make sure it's the same sleeve that I'm doing. Okay. Because it'll mess you up if you working with the wrong sleeve. All right. So I didn't take that sleeve apart, but I didn't have to do that part. Make sure I did the right one. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So it's this sleeve. So I'm just gonna go in and wait. I'm gonna wait on that sleeve till I pull it back on the inside because I want to make sure that I got the right one. Okay. So that's the top of the sleeve right there. That's the top of the sleeve. Okay. Where's the? Oh, okay. That's what was confusing. That is the that's the sleeve seam itself of an armhole seam. Okay, I was confused. All right, let's go back in and check this out. So I'm just gonna go by what I need some memory what this is. All right, y'all. Let me go check my food. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. I am back. So I'm sewing in the sleeve, the lining, taking that in. So I'm sewing this, committing it to memory, y'all. And there is like a little marking on here, so it kind of give me an idea of what where it was. Heard that again. I think I'm gonna change my thread position. I don't know if that's what it is, but it did it again. So let me just rethread this, and it just could be the type of thread that it is. I don't know. It should be a good thread. It's Guterman, but it might be sitting too high. Let's see. Oh, you know the other thing too. I might need to change the size of my needle. Like I have a 16 in from my last project, and I didn't change it. So all of those will affect how your garment sews up or how your project sews. So I did it again. Instead of me taking the needle out, I take the foot out. And usually it's the opposite. If I'm trying to take the foot out, hey Jacqueline, if I take I'm supposed to be taking the foot out, I take the needle out. So okay, I'm changing my needle, and I'm gonna put I have a 14. No, you know what? I better stick with the. I don't know why I don't have a 14. Let me double check again. Thought for sure I had a set of 14s in here, but I guess I don't. I want to try this 12, Lincoln 12. I don't know, make me nervous to sew with a 12 inch, I mean a size 12 needle. This is a wool. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna put a new 16 in. Yeah, I'm just gonna put a new 16 inch, 16 size 16 needle. Makes me nervous sewing with the 14. Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. All right. So what may have happened for whatever reason when my husband starts his car, we both start our cars up, and so they won't freeze over, whatever the case may be. So he started his. My earbud won't connect. I mean, my phone. It'll connect to his car, but it won't connect to mine. I haven't figured that one out yet. I mean, I've used my phone in his car before. Like sometimes I'll drive his car to work, um, but my phone connects to his, but it won't connect to mine. So if he's close by and I'm on the phone, it'll transfer my phone stuff, whatever I'm doing, into his car. So that might be why. So I'm sorry about that. All right. Um, so that goes to. While I have this, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna go undo that lining at the top on that one, but I'm gonna go ahead and stitch this line. I undid the other side before, but I'm not gonna undo this one. All right, go ahead and flip this out. I still need to go some open. Yeah, okay, so I got that one. I'm gonna go ahead and sew this one up, flip this inside out. Sew this up, take this off again. We'll take this side off. Right, so I can sew that clean out. Um, I think it's part of getting inside these jackets and doing what you gotta do. You have to open this up. Oh, I did that the last time. Trying to go all the way up and it's stay focused, please. Yes, stay focused. We sew that little stabilizer back on. So that side is done. Now, this is the side that I have to do the half an inch and then the 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm gonna do that little side taper it out at the bottom. This wool and strings and stuff, y'all. I don't even know how I got it. Well, I know how I got in the sewing by Grace God. That's the gift he gave me. But like, how do I get in the sewing? I don't like strings. I don't like thready stuff. That's not true either. I don't know what the problem is. My thread ran out, y'all. This one I was having fun. But I thought ahead. I had another spool winder while I was sewing. All right. Okay. Just that this one side, for whatever reason, it's starting to stretch out. So I'm gonna need to make sure I don't let that get out of control. I'll do something right here. So I'm gonna make sure that this is laying flat like it should. Okay, yep, good to go. Right now, the other side. Open this. Certain fabrics just at your hand super dry. So that was done, and I'm gonna pull this to the side. Turn this inside out. Hey, Miss Vicky, how art thou? What you saying yes to, Miss Frenchie? Oh, y'all, this wool will tear your fingers up. When I say tear your fingers up, like it just it's tearing my nails up. Almost. Don't you when you sew like when you sew your quilt sometimes, don't you sew with gloves on sometimes? Or anybody else who's sewing quilts? All right. So now it's gonna be the easier part. I opened up the bottom already, okay, so I can get in there. And the bottom is the same way it had like that blind hem stitching on it. And then you just have to hand stitch this closed. So that's what I'll do with this. Hand stitch this back closed. Oh, okay. Well, so you could hear me or you couldn't, because Jacqueline couldn't hear me. She can hear me now. So you could or could not hear me while my Bluetooth was playing tag. So yes, I quilt the sandwich. You quilt the sandwich with my gloves to get a better grip on the. Oh, you could not hear me. Okay, you quilt the sandwich with my gloves, get a better grip on the layers while I'm trying to stitch them together. Okay, that's for getting a better grip. Okay, all right. Let's see. Because that's stitched together right there. All right, so I'm gonna have to put this inside out. Oh, getting all this coat on the inside from the outside back in. There. There we go. See, this way I can get to the underarms better to sew this back up, and it just makes life so much easier. But now I need to sew, need to sew this part back. All right, so that's where the belt loop was. So I think I stopped right above the belt loop. All right, so again, I can see, you can see where the pin marks are, so I know exactly where to sew. Okay. I'm going to use those as my guide, and it makes life so much easier to do it that way. I really don't have to take the time to try to mark it. Just go ahead. I really don't want to have to undo the oh, bring that away. I don't want you. This coat was really big on her, but I had to find creative ways to take it apart. Do it. belt loops in there and all. Let me take belt loops. I don't know if I'm satisfied with it just being taken in there. Yeah, this coat is tearing my nails up. Hey, gown and grown and opinionated. Sorry, grown and opinionated. Y'all can't read. Y'all can't hear me. Sandwich is the quilt top, bad in the back and it all. Oh, okay. Get it. Got it. You tell this girl don't quilt that much. You thought a sandwich. I thought it was a typo. I was just gonna roll with it. It's like, okay. All right. Yeah, this wool tearing my finger up. All right, so yeah, let's do something I want to do. Do I want to do it? I'll look. But then I'll have to look back out. Okay. I think we're gonna roll with it. Okay, that makes sense. I need to stitch this up a little bit better than that. Where is it at? Where is this one? Oh, so there's the notches to match up. Did I open this up? God, why didn't y'all tell me I didn't open the sleeve up on that side? I didn't open the seam allowance up. Just got real happy. Somehow just stopped. I don't know what my husband listening to. Sound like they laid off the Fifth Element. Okay, that's laying flat. So I'm gonna do something right here. True that up there. And I'll have to true this up here. So that do I need to sew this up a little bit more? Is that what I need to do? Really flat. Imagine me working with this big cat. Anybody, Frenchie, you still sewing? Still working on your bags? There we go. See what's popping up over here. So I need to save this seed. Cut those tails off. All right. So that so I'm under the sleeve back here. Like a half an inch seam around. Yeah, I'm glad I used the 16-inch needle instead of 12. The 16-inch not gonna handle this thick fabric. For the other side, got a piece of fabric. I'm on a roll now. Hate when I do that. Get a piece of fabric or something from another section of the garment caught up in it. Kind of like what I did with those Christmas pajamas. Uh, can't see what I'm doing here. Kind of like with those Christmas pajamas where I sewed them all up on the serger, the Christmas pants, and the serger took a chunk out of the butt of my husband's pants, but I was able to add a pocket. My son said, "Well, you didn't add a pocket to mine. Yours didn't have a hole in it." Makes you wonder why they came up with the pocket, huh? Go back to that because this split. That back up because that the bottom split. Okay. This is why alterations cost so much because it's almost like remaking a garment sometimes. People think, it's just taking up seams, just take up that seam, just zip right up and blah, blah. Nope, it don't work like that. So that I can't seem to cut that bottom thread. Right. All right, that's one arm sewn back together. And trying to think, so this, okay, that's tagged in on that side. tagged in this, on this side. So this little tab right here holds this together. Holds the sleeve together and everything. So let's throw that back on. Almost instead of doing a chain stitch on like you're at the hem to keep the lining layers together, they sew this strip of lining fabric for a little tab. So that's the lining. Okay, that's sleeve one. And what I'll do is I'm gonna go in and just kind of, while I have the inside of the jacket open, I'm just gonna steam over these parts to make them lay flat. So when I turn them over, all I have to do is just give it a good press. All right, so that's that sleeve. Just need to open, close this one in and truing that up over there. Match that up there. Matching up notches to make sure they all stay in place. Y'all good? Maybe I didn't go all the way up. Sure. All right. So, like I still have a little bit more sleeve on this other side to take in. Can't quite, I haven't taken enough. I don't know. Once I get this armhole down, then I can just stitch straight seam. So it's right here that it seems to be a little. True this stuff. I don't have to, but I need to be able to see it. And y'all, when you cut like this, you'll see me cutting like in the air, cutting towards my finger. Be careful because I have cut in my finger right there. And that didn't feel good at all. All right, let's try this again. Try not to run over pins like I did one. Oops. Almost did. Should all layers of fabric go together, so I don't have to take nothing loose again. We'll take this and try to cover that. Almost to the finish line. Let me get there. That side stitched up funnier than the other side. Don't know why. Sure. Yeah, why did that stitch up? I could skip the whole section right there. What happened with that? Or did I stop there? Maybe that was me. Maybe I stopped too short. I think I must have stopped too short. Okay. All right, now go ahead and sew. There's an opening in the line. Get there. Close it back up. Sure, close up everything properly. Well, there's a little tab right there. That's the underarm part. Goes here, just like that. And it's here to hold it in place. So the sleeves are done except for me sewing them up. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now so the arm holds up. Mm, I can't do it like that. Or nope, I can't do it like that. I'm gonna have to do it another way. I'm gonna have to go in. I'm still gonna have to open it. Uh, I'll do that last. I need to turn the coat back inside out before I do that part. Um, this part that oh no wonder. Okay, so I am still gonna have to undo this because I've got to take that part of the jacket up. That's why it was sewn up funny. That's all right. So right there, right above the tab, I can get so that at some point I'm like I'm so ready to have the zip. I mean the jacket sewn up and finished. When I do, guess what? I can sew more of stuff I want for my challenge. Who's sewing for the stash busting challenge? If you are, what's your next project? Like we're still working on zippers. In my last video that I did this morning. You can see where I did finish. Well, not quite finished. I still got to get the strap for my bag. I actually went out and purchased the strap for my fanny pack, but I didn't purchase it. I felt guilty because I thought, oh, we're not supposed to be purchasing more than 20% of the fabric. And I thought I was purchasing, by me purchasing the strap fabric, I thought I was going to be purchasing more than 20% of my project. So why didn't nobody tell me that why didn't nobody tell me that the twill, not the twill, what do you call it? The webbing. Why y'all didn't tell me the webbing wasn't considered um fabric is more considered a notion. I'm thinking I'm doing something wrong. And now I gotta go out tomorrow. Well, I gotta go out anyway. So I'll be purchasing the webbing. I was up at Joanne. I found two pieces. Actually, I found three things that I like. Okay. That feels a little bit better. All right. Yeah, that feels better. Is it? Oh, all right. I hope I'm not missing. Yeah, comments. The last thing I see is grown in a peanut. It says, hey. All right. So that's it for that. So I am going to. So this is the back, center back seam. It does have a vent in it. So I am not going to sew past the vent, but I am going to. So it looks like I didn't go all the way down on the back. I don't know why. Looks like I stopped right about right up under the shoulder blade. So it's like, but I can't stop right there. Get up to the side. I'm just marking along the lines that I can't see. I think I stitched up the princess in the back, the ones that need to be stitched up. So I might not have to. This might be the last set of seams that I have to do. It looks that way. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna sew the center back seam down on the lining just a little bit. A lot of times I don't worry too much about the lining and the center back seams of a jacket because there's a little bent in the jacket anyway. I seem like it's later than that. Yeah, there's that bent back here, so I'm not gonna fool with this lining here because of the bent in there. It pleats anyway, but the right in here, I'm gonna take these in the princess seams just a little bit, just a little bit. So it won't be too baggy under there. I think the princess seams only come in as far as the waist. Just a little bit more. Right, and let's see, one more princess seam over here on this side. Then I'm gonna go ahead and the last thing I have to do is the sew the sleeves, the hem of the sleeves back together. All right, y'all. So probably said he overheard somebody slow cooking ribs. He said you were supposed to send meal kits for you too. Oh, is that what I was supposed to do? Hey, Car, how you doing, girl? Hi. So I was supposed to send meal kits. Yeah. Speaking of ribs, let me go check on my ribs. Hang on. All right, y'all. And I have my earbud in. Hey, welcome back, Nina. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so now I'm going to put my sleeve aside. Put the sleeve aside. No, what? Let me flatten these. Let me steam these sleeves flat, and that way I can turn it inside out, and that way I can see. I'm good. I'm good, Carla. I'm good. All right, so let me steam these flat. Did I tell y'all my read? Think about the cost. That's what cost if I have to already gave you a free chip, free breakfast charge. Nobody makes some shit. Think my son off. If get the other sleeve, and then I'll get that. Sorry, y'all can see this far. I figure out I need to work on the phone. So I figure out how to can't go get my steam roll. I'm good. I think it's already done. Okay. All right, y'all. So this is what I was doing, just making sure that the seams are pressed open flat, and then making sure that the back seam is pressed open flat and everything. So now I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna turn everything in back through that hole. Um, and then I'll put the sleeve in because the sleeves have to be done a certain kind of way. That's the reason why when they do sleeves, they actually add a slit in the arm. So, but since I have a slit in the bottom of this, I'm gonna see if I can turn it out through that instead of having to do it through the arm. But if not, I'm gonna have to just go through the arm. But the sleeves have to be matched up just right. So I'm gonna turn this back out. Yeah, I'm waiting on my wrist. I just put the sauce over, took the foil off so they're cooking, letting the sauce cook on them. And then they'll be ready. We have a salad. I'm gonna have some Texas toast. That's gonna be it. This is like perfect timing. All right. So get that season there. So all right. So see how that sleeve is a little bit shorter than the outer layer? It should be that way. Now it's not even folded up yet. Like this is folded. So it should be almost the length of what it is when the hem of the outer layer, the fashion fabric is folded. Because once I stitch this, that's where the hem is on the fashion fabric. But once I stitch this to the hem, it's going to have a little bit of fold like that. And it's usually about halfway the width of that fold, maybe about a half inch above the hem. All right, so it's usually in the sleeve, on the sleeve seam. It's easier to go in that way and pull it out, but I can go in through the hem of the jacket. Usually they bag the whole jacket and then stitch it from there. Uh, Bag the whole jacket, put a hole in the arm. They usually go through the hole in the arm and bag the jacket and close that hem up in the jacket. But I am gonna do the reverse, and I'm gonna go through the back of the jacket, the hem. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There's that hole in the hem. I'm gonna go in through the sleeve. Now, I'm gonna hold on to this sleeve because I want to make sure that everything is in the place, the same place where it's supposed to be, the seams or where they need to be. I take a clip. Here, take a clip like this. to make sure those seams are together. So that's going to be important. If you don't make sure that they're together, they're going to twist up. All right, so now I went through the jacket, the bottom. I'm going through red. All right, going through, you see my fingers? So I'm going to take that off. All right, so what I'm going to do is fold the fabric, the lining, and make the right size match up. Okay, just like that. You can see that. So I'm making the right size match up. Now I'm going to pull it back through the bottom so that I can stitch it. So this way, doing it, you can't, it seems like it would be easier to do this on the inside. Just take the sleeve and just flip it, but you can't. So now I've got to do this too. Now I'm matching up everything and stitching it. Match that seam up. Match that seam up. So the seams are matching. And I'll do a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. So it just makes it easier to sew this sleeve all the way around without stopping. Okay. So a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now this is where I get excited because it means I'm almost done. Definitely want to make sure that your fabric layers are laying together. You can see why you stabilize the outer fabric because you don't want that hem to stretch out of shape. You want that hem to stay just the way it's supposed to be. You don't want no waffle hem. Now, one of the things that I do before I flip this back up, because it's got a natural fold in it now because I pressed it before I turned it up. So I'm going to tack the seams down. So you can do this by machine like this, or you can just take some thread and a needle and tack it in place. So I think I'm going to grab a needle. Where's my big needle from last night? My needle from last night. Oh, this is a little one. My eyes need a big needle tonight. See? Oh, no, that won't work. I need that kind of needle. All right. So I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna turn it inside out so you can see it, and then let you all see. Should have got wax thread. All right. So I'm just grabbing the seam allowance and just a portion of the just doing some loose stitches just to catch it. Just want to catch this. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going through all layers, just the seam allowance and the hem edge. Guess I might as well do the other one too. Here, sure stay place. Catch the seam allowance. Oh wait, I can't see that, can so, so I'm just catching that seam allowance there, attacking that. Just doing a catch stitch. That's it. And yeah, good. All right. All right, so now that I've done that, so see how it looks now? Those two are joined together on the inside, locked in. And so I'm going to pull it back through to the outside. Let it come back to the outside one. And the two will be mixed. Voila! Let me turn this in. See, now you got your nice hem sleeve. Turn it in from the outside so that you can see what it looks like from the lining side. So see how that hem came out? See what I mean by it has a um little bit of give right in there. Okay. You don't want it to be too tight right in there. Okay. So that's the sleeve. And so that's pretty much done. All I have to do is the other sleeve and give it a good press, and it is done. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go and grab my. Let me show you here. So, all right, so that's where I took it in right in here. So I have to press that. I stopped right here above the belt loop, okay? And then the back. So I stopped right here above uh, the kick pleat back here. So I press that down flat, and this is where I sewed took in the sleeve right in here, and took in this sleeve right in here. All right, so overall it's done. Looks good. Just needs a good pressing now. All right, that is it. Thank you for watching. Me stitch this coat, alter this coat. So I am going to go and finish my book. All right. Love y'all to life. Blessings and peace. Talk to y'all later.